Hello, my name is LynzloByChoice. Thanks for stopping by the channel today. And we're doing a vintage collector's apartment in eco lifestyles world of Evergreen Harbor. This is actually really nice. I had so much fun creating this. I think creating an Evergreen Harbor will always be like my favorite thing to do, but I think making it a vintage collector's apartment is one thing that is a little bit different and I've never actually gotten to do. And because this is for a sim that I don't know would actually live in Evergreen Harbor, I wanted to do a different apartment layout. And so I went with a closed off apartment layout. So we have this entryway right here. And as you can see, I put a little bit of decorations in this, but it is for a lot of movement. So I could only add a little bit here. And we go with an end table, a mirror, and like two small decorations to put on the table. And then that's about it in that room. And then we're working on this kitchen. So everything is closed off, like I just mentioned. So we have the kitchen over here, and then there's a bathroom. As you can see, there's a shower right there. But on that next room, we have the dining room, and then we have an office and a small little laundry room off the office. And then there's a bedroom over to the right, and then there's an ensuite. So we actually get an ensuite full bathroom there. And then we have the living room area and an entryway to get into the living room area. So there's a lot. And I know I just spoke about that while we're working on the kitchen, but I kind of wanted to give you a feel of what we're working with. And so in here, because it is a vintage collector's apartment, I wanted to go a little old school with everything. Like maybe this is an outdated apartment that they wanted to use, and I wanted them to have that. You know what I mean? So this was dedicated to that effort. And so vintage can really mean anything, and I wanted that to show here. So we have vintage everything. I think that would come from kitchen things, from, office supplies, decorations, paintings, sculptures, everything. And I wanted all of that to show here. So we have some things like that plate. I feel like that probably would have been something like the sheet cloths that they have on the windows like a lot of this is very much dedicated to being a vintage styled place, and I wanted that to come off in any way. So it can be any of those things, and I feel like that would be a great thing to play with in the Sims, because we have the flea market, we can sell things. So maybe the sim has a table in their inventory, and they just go to flea markets selling things or doing like a barter system in exchange. And I think that was really fun to play with. I actually did run into a problem where I couldn't place flooring, but then I had to fix some things and we got right back on track, and I was able to place everything I needed to place. But for a second it was difficult. It was definitely around this time that I figured I wanted to go with a darker color scheme for the entire build. So I do end up changing the wallpaper that we have right now for a black and white one with the black tiles at the bottom, and that just worked with the flooring that I put down in the kitchen. And then we move right in here, and I wanted to do a small dining table and like a big place where I think they can store a bunch of the vintage collector pieces that they get. So I end up going with this, and with that I realized that I wouldn't have a lot of space for dining, so I just go for like a 2-person dining set. I actually think 2 people don't live here. I think it's just the one, and whenever they have like maybe their vintage collector friends over or something like that, this is where they eat, and they're able to admire the things that they collect. They're able to talk about it and just get into the history of the things that they find most interesting. And I wanted this to be a centerpiece for it. I add a chandelier, I add a bunch of small things that I think they've probably just collected along their journey, and it was just really fun. I added some plates because this is a dining room, but also I think those could have been like family plates or something, something that they don't actually eat on. Is that a typical thing in your family? Like, I know it was in mine. My family actually has a few things where it's actually like a family treasure where we don't actually eat on it, but we admire it and it's really nice. And that's it. We couldn't dare eat on it or actually use it for the purpose that it's for. And I don't know, I feel like this is definitely one of those times where this sim does that, where they're just like, we don't actually use it, we just admire it and take in the beauty of it. So you can see I put in all the wallpaper and everything, and I figured out that putting in a very large bookcase would actually make this stand out. It's a small living room area, so I only put in this big couch, but then the rest of it is dedicated to the things that they find, when they're collecting pieces or they're out and they find things in museums and they're like, oh, I have to take this home. I also think that this person is kind of rich because in able to collect most of these vintage pieces, it's known that these things are vintage, so they have to spend money to get it and put it in their collection that's here at the house. So I wanted to go for a more regal feel. It's definitely a bit older because this is a vintage collector's apartment, so I feel like they don't only collect vintage pieces, they decorate their home in it. So I also think they have maybe like another rental property where they have like their really big pieces, but things that they want to see daily, the things that they admire, they keep here. So that's a little bit about the living room, and now I'm working in this half bath. It did have a full tub shower combo, but then I realized I wanted to add a laundry unit, and so I closed it off and added an archway off of the office, and so you're able to do your laundry, but you do have to go into the office to do it. Is it conventional? No, but does it make it a little bit realistic? Actually, yes. And this is what the bathroom ends up looking like. I do end up reusing the faucet, and I actually love it. I think a black faucet is not something that I typically see anymore, and it's really a one-off, you know, kind of sink, but I still wanted to use it. And instead of using a tub shower combo, I end up going for just a tub, and I end up putting a mirror that kind of leans up against the wall in the bathroom as well. And that is the full bathroom in this unit. Now we are moving into the bedroom, and I end up using this bed, and I think we actually got this from a Realm of Magic game pack. I don't use a lot from it, honestly, and I rarely use this bed, but the swatch of this bed actually matched the swatch of the dresser that we got from Cottage Living, and I wanted to use that, and so I was like, it just kind of works. And I actually do feel like this would be the kind of bed that would be in this apartment because of what we have on the top of that. I actually wanted a bed like this when I was younger, and so being able to play with it is a way for me to kind of live out my dreams in a sense. But the colors in here are a bit on the darker side. I wanted to go with browns, and we have peaks of red, blue, and green, but I do add some decorations over to the side. Now these really aren't supposed to be decorations, but these are supposed to be things to make it look lived in, you know, moisturizers, books, glasses, things like that. And whenever I'm building something, I always think, what can I do to make this feel like a realistic thing? And all of that works out in my favor in the end, but I'm always scared that it's going to be able to, you know, obstruct what Sims can do in the game, and so I never actually want to do that. So I've been kind of scaling back on decorations that I put in my builds, but I'm working on it. I've scaled back slightly. I'll see how far I can go, but there's no true telling. But I love this little corner over here, you know, with the mirror, and I put a small little vase of flowers with the stained glass lamp, and that is really it for this bedroom. I actually love it, but I'm telling you, as we are working on this office and I'm figuring out what wallpaper I want to add here, I do go for a bit of a busier wallpaper, as you can see in the thumbnail of this video. But my favorite thing of this entire apartment are the paintings. I don't actually use a lot of those paintings, but I felt like this was a perfect use of it. And all of the paintings that I put in here, I just love the framing, and it just really works. So I hope you can see I put a lot of effort into creating this entire thing. I think this person is probably like a writer or something, so I do end up adding a typewriter here, and I think that's kind of how they document everything that they've collected and what's in their inventory. I think they do a lot of research, probably at the library or something, and then they bring it home, and that's when they are realizing what they want to buy or what they want to give to museums. As you can see, I actually put a lot of thought into this apartment, and not only the apartment, but the sim that I think lives here. And so I think I kind of want to go the route of creating sims along with the apartments. So if you want to download that off the gallery, you can, but let me know if that's something you want in the comments. As we are finishing up this office, I had so much fun building this. I do add some more things of decoration, just really feeling like I have concluded this apartment, and when I'm done, you'll see screenshots. If you want to download this off the gallery, feel free to do so. My name is LynzloByChoice there, and you have to filter for rooms. This does not contain any CC or anything like that. I am thinking about posting some CC things. If you're up for that kind of thing, please let me know in the comments. Let me know how you like this video, and if you have any suggestions on things you'd like to see on the channel, please let me know there as well. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and click the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever more videos get posted. And I cannot wait to see you in the next one. Until then, enjoy these screenshots. I hope you continue to have a fantastic day. And I just want to say thank you so much for watching. I am so grateful, and I am just happy to continue to build these things for you all. Bye.